Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And I have a question for you all today, which is, are you still holding on to your XRP? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's get started with today's video. For all of you guys wondering, because I saw quite a lot of people, Solana had a couple of issues today, which is also why the crypto is down this much. There basically was such a huge amount of traffic, and well, I guess sometimes too much of the good can cause something bad. That's the long and short of it. Now, let's go over into some more SEC shenanigans. First of all, Charles Gasparino said over on his Twitter, breaking one question I have for Jay Clayton, and calls are out to him. Why, in your last days as SEC chair, do you do a case like the one against Ripple/XRP? Maybe there's a good explanation. I should also point out the government revolving door is nothing new, so him working for a firm that is investing in competitive crypto, i.e. Ethereum, isn't illegal. Still, the timing is interesting. Seems like something you punt to new admin as Steve Mnuchin did with radical GSC reform story developing. And basically the point I'm trying to get across here is that I firmly believe more and more of these bigger names in the industry will call either Jay Clayton, Gary Gensler, William Himon, or either of these parties out. That's something fishy is going on. And again, guys, we can't put the exact finger on what it is, but it's fishy. And whenever we look at the XP price, things are still going sideways. So many people think, oh, it doesn't matter. It's not relevant. It isn't important because the price is going sideways. It is exactly that price going sideways that is the cause of what we are seeing right now. All this BS, I personally think, is keeping the price lower than what it would have been had we gotten the clarity. But let's cover some other stuff. All right, Jeremy Hogan just shared, curious how Mr. Garlinghouse had time to watch Gary Gensler's testimony today and tweet about it. This is also something that we said during the live stream earlier today, because he was supposed to be in a discussion with the SEC. And I have three different things, right? One is his deposition didn't happen, which would be odd because this is the deadline. So it could have been that it happened a day before, for example. I mean, it could be. Two is he's a genius and he does two things at the same time. Three, they have a freaking marketing team, so for example, somebody does his Twitter. And I guess four is he's an alien. All right, so all while being deposed, either the deposition didn't happen or Brad is an absolute genius at doing two things at once, or somebody else handles it. It's also the same thought that he shared. But that's a reply to, again, Brad Garlinghouse, who said, Chair Gensler insisted again in today's testimony that the security laws are clear and easily understandable for the crypto market, and then turned around and said Congress needs to write laws to clarify. So which one is it? Thank you, Senator Toomey, for being the voice of reason, because he was really aggressive with the questions. Ryan actually said, SEC has to file the requested privilege documents by midnight tonight, right? What does it mean if that doesn't happen? A lot of people asked that during the stream too. Jeremy says, as of this tweet, we have about 6 hours left. I would be shocked if nothing is filed. That's not an order you mess around with, which is also exactly what I said during the live stream, which really leads me to wonder, am I slowly turning into a freaking lawyer too? Because, me and Jeremy are definitely on one line on these things right now, which is peculiar. All right. Then Gary Gensler has actually gone over to Twitter to state a couple of things, which, of course, I found interesting because I thought that Gensler would kind of stay away from every single thing that had to do with this discussion, because once more, it really put him into a negative light. However, I guess we can definitely agree to disagree on it, because he personally thinks that it was a really fun and good situation, I guess. Otherwise, why would you share it over on your Twitter?
Is the owner of the security getting the best deal, or is the intermediary getting a lot of money? And it looks like there is a disconnect, their inherent conflict of interest. I think you described it recently.
I like how they talk about conflict of interest. That always does me good. Whenever they mention that, I just get a slight giggle. I don't know if you guys are on the same type of page here with me, but it's always just funny.
So are you trying to move forward efforts to evaluate this practice of payment and see if it is fair to the consumer?
We are. I've asked staff to take a look at this. It's been about 16 years since we did major rewrite of the national market structure. And I think the inherent conflicts of payment for order flow and rebates on the stock exchanges both may make our markets less efficient. And this is important for capital formation, and it's important for the retail investors that all three senators have already raised, is that retail investors may not be getting best execution, even if they get a price improvement, but there is price improvement versus a sort of out-of-date measuring rod. And if you measure against the wrong measurement stick, it doesn't mean you're getting best execution. So we're looking out for retail investors. If anybody on this committee or staff legally traded in the retail markets, there's like a 97% chance that it does not go to a transparent exchange. It goes to the dark markets or the wholesalers. And so it's harder to get best execution when you're not competing order to order. So I'm like deeply a markets person and believe in the competition of markets to bring those orders in competition.
Well, point actually of the talk itself, because of course he shared it because he thought it was a good part of his, which is obvious. One thing is actually kind of funny, stating towards in the entire speech, actually, for that matter, is that there might, because again, that's what I kind of fetched from not only this small section, but the entire speech, because I listened to a very good chunk, is actually that there could be some inside trading going on, from within SEC members of things they weren't allowed to do. However, that would be kind of hidden away in the dark parts, which is actually funny because it kind of makes me think about how the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit is also talking about SEC members trading, yet they never willingly let go of those statements, which I still find peculiar. A lot of things are also to do with relevance, right? We keep saying the SEC doesn't make the rules clear. They say it is clear. When we ask questions more specifically, they say it's not relevant for anything, but ultimately, guys, I'm not sure what their thought process is right now. I just know that it's really, really skewed. Before we go on, let me say a couple of things. One, I'm not a financial advisor. Second, not a legal advisor. Third, make sure you check out the telegrams that I have linked down below. They're new and pretty fun, so if you want to join them, go right on ahead. And also, guys, if you're watching this far into the video, if you press that like button or the subscribe button, helps out the channel, and you might just enjoy it. The like button helps out the video and in the YouTube background and whatnot. The subscribe button doesn't really help me. It's just cool, I guess. All right, the SEC does not protect the investors. Let's see. Needsbuck said Coinbase has worked closely with the SEC for years. They pride themselves on this. They always tell the SEC before they list a new coin. Today, September 2021, Gensler said that Coinbase may be selling unregistered securities. Coinbase is about to get rippled. And David says, kind of makes you wonder if they were gathering evidence, building a case, giving false assurances, and setting them up the whole time. The SEC let Coinbase go public. If there's a better way to intentionally maximize the harm to U.S. investors, I don't know what it would be. And that's literally what everybody's thinking right now, right? There really wasn't any way to do this worse than what they did right now, at least if you were to ask me. And it's again what he's been posting on his Twitter, and everybody's kind of agreeing with him. You can't do worse than what the SEC has done right now as we speak. Tom Emmer said over on his Twitter, is Gary Gensler actually attempting to assume authority over stablecoins by rebranding them to stable value coins? Which is interesting because, once more, guys, stablecoins do not appreciate in value, and so from that perspective, they can't really be a security. However, they're trying to compare them to bonds in some weird shape or form, I think. Then David Swartz also shared this. Excited to be sharing the stage with Just Moon, aka Stephen Thomas. And this is basically about the XRP Ledger Foundation Summit, which is about to happen at the end of this month. I kind of forgot about it. So I'm not sure if actually Cardano's Summit and this developer XPL Summit overlap, because I know the Cardano Summit is at the end of the month, but I don't know if it's like 27, 28 or 28, 29. But don't forget that the conference is there. You can actually watch it online, the developer conference. Then we had a Coinbase talk here. They basically made it, in case you missed it, about the USDC reserves, mostly to kind of jab back at the SEC, to kind of explain how USDC works from some perspective, because, well, they want to kind of make it look like USDC is a currency. So if Coinbase actually goes and makes these lending projects or whatever like that for USDC, it's not a security. It's impossible. I don't really get the way that they talk about it in that sense too. But that's a really smart move to kind of remind the public, I guess, of how USDC works in that sense. Because literally it's backed by $1. It's just $1 basically. How can it be a Coinbase security for that matter? Then it all kind of is strange as well. Or how can the lending program itself be a security then? It's also strange. I don't want to talk too much about that. Let's see if I have any XRP stuff open here. yeah, the schedule actually hasn't changed too much. Some people said, oh, schedule update or anything like that. No, nothing has happened. Most likely, a couple of days from now, we'll see another update as we get new dates. But as it currently stands, the most important part is the SEC sending their stuff over to Ripple. However, guys, there's a good chance that I'll be asleep because they still have about 5-6 hours left, which might be 6 a.m. my time. You know, and sometimes I sleep a little bit, even though it's not too much. Then this we already covered in the stream earlier, and this one I think we did already too. Yeah, so this is basically just Gary Gensler's statements that he put up yesterday about what he was going to talk about in his speech, and we all just kind of concluded it was really stupid. Just trying to get as many relevant articles out here as possible. Then this article was also popping up. SEC Chair Gary Gensler calls for crypto exchanges to register with the commission. A couple of fun little talks here where Alex Kruger, who said the tech and the regulatory framework need to adapt to one another. This should be a two-way street. However, actually everything that I kind of show you comes back to Joel Katz's tweet about, it really makes you wonder, why did they wait so long for saying all of this? Why did they wait so long with Coinbase specifically? And will they actually, after all this backlash, still decide to sue Ripple for more things rather than just the lending feature? And was it that they waited for Coinbase to mess up once and ask for permission again before going into it? Because again, guys, remember, Coinbase now asked, can we go do this loaning feature? They said no, but they didn't just say no on its own. No, they said no with a very big 180. Like, what is that hospital meme? Oh, call an ambulance, but not for me. Like that little meme. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? That's kind of what it feels like right now. Because, well, they wanted to do something fun for the people, something nice. And in turn, they got a big freaking subpoena. Like, they're like, oh, send us all your clients, send us everybody who was interested, send us everything. And that's most likely because they can now more justify some bigger investigations into Coinbase potentially. I don't know exactly what they're planning. It's most likely some very, very sneaky stuff because that's everything that they're doing right now. It's very freaking sneaky, guys. And I guess we can cover these ones. Cardano's Charles Hoskinson, the CEO of IOHK, apparently says he wants to get rid of CEOs and presidents, which is rather interesting. So Luke said, congrats for to Charles Hoskinson, basically. He said, this is wishful thinking. I have no desire or taste for politics. The entire point of my career is to remove the need for CEOs and presidents. Then I can retire and ranch bison. Peculiar statements. Very interesting, I guess. And also, once more, guys, the House Democrats planning to hike tax on crypto assets in the infrastructure bill. This basically has to do with the longer-term gains and the shorter-term gains, kind of that line being kind of crushed and everything kind of becoming worse for crypto overall. But again, that's crypto for you. That's the U.S. for you. It's just an annoying little period that we're in. Eventually, it'll fix itself. XRP isn't budging to any side, though, so I guess we can't really complain. Right, you could complain that the price is just dropping 10% a day, but right now we're going sideways for the longest time, so I can't really say that I'm sad or happy. It's basically a whole fistful of nothing, right? What else can we say, guys? So all I can say is just let us see, let us wait, and I'll give you guys some more updates on the price if it's really becoming relevant. For right now, though, it really isn't. I mean, what can I say? What can I say? The price isn't doing too much. I'm still trading, as you guys know, but not anything too crazy, too relevant. And I've also not been doing too many updates on Patreon because, man, this is the sidiest ways market we've ever seen in a very long time. So I'm not exactly sure what to share over on there. But yeah, hopefully you still enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you also agree with me that it's all freaking stupid. A lot of sell orders right there. Holy smokes. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video later today.